great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 741, back in the studio. Sorry we didn't have a show this weekend. I was traveling and it was sort of crazy, so I was not able to be with all of you, but I'm happy to be here. How's everybody doing? I hope you had a good weekend. We made it back safely. I was going to do a show on Saturday, but our flights got messed up and we didn't get in until like 1 a.m. It was still sort of crazy. So this is episode 741. I'll be here for the next hour trying to answer all of your immigration questions that I can. All right. So I'll say hi to everyone in the comments. I see Traylene is here. Hello, Kwaku, Christine. J. Cruz says it's -7 in North Dakota. -7 in North Dakota. You know, if anybody wants to put in the chat, talk to me about weather surprises. Like if you came to the United States, like I always think about the refugees in Minnesota and how they came from Sudan or Somalia. And, you know, those are very hot places. And then to end up in Minnesota, what's it like in that -7 degree weather? My son is going back to the University of Minnesota tomorrow, and he's taking my new coat with him. So I just wrote down I need to order myself a new coat because it's a really nice coat, very, very warm from Patagonia, but he's taking my coat, if you can believe that. All right. Yep, the beard is gone. The beard is gone. Later on, I'll put up a picture of me as I was shaving it. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. Hello, Robert. Your Chargers sure stunk up the joint. I thought they'd easily get past the Texans, but the Chargers season is now over. David says, cold today, very cold. Yep. Robert wants to grow a porn stash. I think that'd be great, Robert. You'd look good with that. David said -10 when he woke up. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Let's start with Govind. Hello, Govind. Govind, there you go.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Okay. That's great. My quick question was a follow-up question of what I asked last time. So I didn't want to go on my H-1B visa while my advanced parole petition is still pending. You said like they're not tied up and they're going to be considered separately. And any idea roughly at this time, because we just applied in the first week of this month. So how long should I wait for the advanced parole to get approved, Jim?
I am seriously debating whether anybody should even apply for advanced parole anymore because, and you know, obviously I always want people to have the ability to leave the United States if they have to, but in our experience lately, people are getting their green cards long before they get their advanced parole. So, and of course with Trump, the timelines are all going to change. But as of right now, most people I know that apply for a green card and advanced parole get the green card without ever receiving the advanced parole. And then they go ahead and get a letter saying that their advanced parole application is terminated because you don't need it anymore. But in any event, nothing's going to happen fast. If you're talking you just filed a few weeks ago, it's going to be at least 9 or 10 months.
Okay. 9 or 10. Okay, Jim. Yeah.
That's it, Govind.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good day. Sumi, if you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up next. Sumi, I'll come back to you next. I'll go to AK and then I'll come to you. All right, AK, go for it.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Atkins. Thank you so much for what you do. Sure. I just kind Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about my the current situation. It's about I have my I-140 approved, and it was actually moved to consular processing. However, I also got an opportunity to come into the U.S. With an F2 visa. At the moment, I just wanted to find out if I could actually do an adjustment of status while being in the US at the moment, because following the table, on the table B, my filing date is current on the table B. So I'm just wondering whether I should go ahead with the adjustment of status, or have to wait until my date is current on the table A, and that would be that I have to go back to my country to then apply from there.
What is the job that you have an approved I-140 for?
It's a research. I'm a PhD holder in chemical engineering, so I got approved for the EB2 NIW. Yeah.
So you have a self-petitioned EB2 NIW that became current. Well, I want to get some of the dates. So when did you enter on the F2?
I entered on September 26th.
Of 24?
24 year.
And when did you file the I-140? What's the priority date on the I-140?
That was July the 18th, 2023.
Okay, July the 18th, 2023. And what country are you from?
I'm from Nigeria.
Okay, so is this the first month that the visa bulletin has been current for filing?
No, it's been current for about 3 months now, but due to I had of this rule of 90 days before you can file, I had to wait for 3 months to pass, which already was due on December 26th.
Okay.
3 months.
Okay. So, and your spouse is on an F1?
Yeah.
Is your spouse in the United States?
Yeah.
And you're also in the United States?
Yes.
And I heard some little kids running around. Are there kids involved?
Yeah.
So how old are they?
They're 4 and 2.
Oh, wow. You got your hands full. Okay. So it looks to me, according to the visa bulletin, that your priority date is indeed current. So your question to me is, Jim, can I go ahead and apply for a 485?
Yeah, because on the table B, it actually indicated 1st of August.
Your audio cut out.
So I'm saying on the table B, which is the final action date, it's actually current there as it's indicated as 1st of August.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to pull up because you're crossing over things that aren't entirely accurate, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the visa bulletin. So can you see me on the screen right now?
Yeah, I can see you on the screen.
Okay, cool. I'm going to pull up the visa bulletin. So the dates for filing of employment-based visa applications, that's B. I think that's what you meant. You said final action date, but that's different. You mean the initial filing date.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this says the chart below reflects dates for filing visa applications within a time frame justifying immediate action in the application process. Applicants for immigrant visas who have a priority date earlier than the application date in the chart may assemble and submit required documents to the NVC, or that also applies. Well, so then we have to check. USCIS says which chart they're following, but that All right, hold on a second. Yeah. So you're good to go to apply. So let's look at it. So your filing date, your priority date is July 18th, 2023, and it's now August 1st, 2023. So you can and should apply for adjustment of status.
Okay. All right. So I can go ahead and do that also for my family.
That's right.
Okay. And also, I wanted to find out if I could also apply for I-765 as well.
Yes, you can. And if you use it, then that's a violation of your F2 visa, though. Okay, so they'll let you apply for an EAD. They'll let you receive an EAD, but then that's a technical violation of your F2 visa.
Oh, okay. So technically, I can apply for I-765.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I should just only apply for I-485 and not I-765.
Unless you want to work on it. See, but then you're writing just the application. I like to keep things as safe as possible. So if you think there's some chance that you might not get your green card, I wouldn't want you to lose your F2 status. Technically, you should. I mean, you shouldn't, but you know who's coming into office and they're going to be causing trouble. So what I will say, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying the safest thing to do would be to not use the EAD, but it might be worth applying for and just having it just in case something happens.
Okay. Okay.
It's the use of it that gets you in trouble. It's not the filing of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I got it. All right. I got it right now. Thank you so much. Thank you so
got
much.
it. Thanks, AK. See you, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, that was AK. Sumi's got her camera off, and we'll go to Sumi. Hi, Sumi.
Hey, hi Jim. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine.
Okay, I have a question here about my daughter who's 14, came in on a K2 visa, which we filed for adjustment and then received the request for evidence. My question here is, I wasn't sure if they want the entire medical report or just the vaccination part. So it says just submit a completed Form I-693 report of immigration, medical examination, and vaccination record. So does that mean that they want the entire 693 or just the vaccination portion?
Why do you think that it would only be the vaccination?
Oh, because that's what I did for me when I did mine, but hers has lapsed. I mean, it's taken us a long time to get hers processed. So I was just wanting to clarify if she needs to redo, because we did that in our home country.
Yeah. Is it going to cost you a lot of money to do it?
It's going to cost us, I think, $400 something.
Would that be a hardship?
No.
Then I would give them what they ask for.
So they are asking for the entire exam.
According to what you just read me.
Okay. All right, then that's what I wanted to just clarify. Okay, so also, what if we just did the vaccination record? Because it also does say that, you know, if you don't do it, it will just evaluate you based on what you do submit. Because my daughter's really sick right now and we need to get this in as soon as possible. I don't know when she's going to get well. Hopefully soon enough to go do the exam. But if we do not and we just submit the vaccination record, do you think that would jeopardize her application?
When is the RFE due?
10th of February.
And you don't think she'll get better before February 10th?
I think she should.
So I think you are exhibiting something that we see a lot of, which people, I'm not going to frame this the right way, and it might come off a little bit harsh, but I don't want people to ever think about doing the least amount of work. I want people to think about doing the best amount of work, the most amount of work, to do everything that they want. So instead of saying, can I get by? What do you think is going to happen if I file this? I mean, to me, I don't ever even think that way. Right.
No, I got it. Yeah. I mean, I ideally want to do the whole thing, and hopefully she does get better so that we can do it.
Is your case finished?
Mine's done, yes.
You have your green card.
I do.
Did you apply for her later?
No, we applied at the same time, but she turned 14 during the whole process, and then I had to refile because I did the wrong fee.
Yeah.
And by the time everything came back to us was so delayed that it's been a year now since we filed.
Got it. Good luck, Sumi.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Let's go to Gagan. Gagan, hello.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
Good, good. So we have an N400 interview coming up under the 3-year rule, and the estimated time is 3 weeks. But we're also pregnant, and the due date for that is around 5 weeks. It's running
Oh.
super close.
Mhm.
So I was thinking if it comes to that, it does really coincide. How can we reschedule safely, or what would happen?
Is this the first child or a later child?
Second child.
Second children come quick. That's why I asked. But putting that to the side, so the baby's due in 5 weeks and the interview's in 3 weeks. Oh, you don't know
Yeah.
when the interview is. No, you just know that there's just, like they said, an interview's been scheduled, but you don't know when that is.
Correct. It's just one of those tentative 3 weeks until decision, and the step says interview scheduled, which is
Yeah. So most likely it's going to come on the due date or something like that. Like the interview will be, I mean, but here's the thing. So did that just pop up that the interview was being scheduled like in the last couple days?
it was kind of little. So it was 3 months, and then it was 2 months few days ago, and then today I checked, it's suddenly from 2 months to 3 weeks.
Oh, but as of right now, you haven't gotten any notice that an
No.
interview notice is on its way.
No. Yes, no notice, interview notice.
It'll be way past the baby coming.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean,
Good.
a notice is always 4 or 5 weeks out, usually, unless it's like a lawsuit or something.
Oh.
So even if you get a notice tomorrow, you'll that would be, obviously, if you got the notice tomorrow, that would be a problem. But if the notice isn't even going to come for 6 weeks or 3 months, then you got plenty of time. But let me answer the overall question. Let's say instead you were calling me and you said, Jim, I've applied under the 3-year rule. This will be a good video. I've applied under the 3-year rule, and my spouse is very, very pregnant, and the due date is the interview date. Or my wife had a baby, and my interview's tomorrow. There's the title. I'm going to write that down. My wife had a baby, and her interview's tomorrow. So here's the thing. You don't have to bring your spouse. I mean, you know me, I always encourage people to bring the spouse, right? And
Right.
it's good to have the spouse. And technically, if you get a real jerk of an officer, they might not approve the case. But what I would be thinking in my mind is, how can I prove this marriage is valid if my spouse isn't there? So like military spouses often aren't there for a 3-year rule, right? And so this can be done. And having a second child in a marriage is, in the list of strength of marriage evidence, that's having a second child in a marriage is pretty high up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say I would have all my medical records ready, including her delivery date and all that stuff. I'd have that all ready to give a copy and set of it to the officer. And I would bring lots of family photos, and I would say, my wife would love to be here, but I slept at the hospital last night. We just had a baby, and she wasn't able to be here. If you want to reschedule it, like I would show up ready to go and act like you guys should approve this case even without her being here. And then at the back end, if they give you any grief, then reschedule it, motherfucker, so that I can bring you my wife. But she just had the damn baby yesterday. So what do you want me to do? So that's how I would think about it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good point. I wasn't thinking this option. Awesome. Solid advice. Thanks, Jim. You're
Good
awesome.
luck with everything. Good luck with the baby.
Thank you.
See ya. Uh-oh, my mouse just died. Uh-oh. All right. Well, how about that? What's going on, you guys? Oh, the beard, you fam, the beard was just for Amani being in Egypt with the boys. That wasn't a long-term thing, I think. Dammy says bring the baby to the interview, which I think is a good idea. Sometimes little babies are good to bring to interviews, like 3-year-olds that run around and pull people's hair and stuff like that. That's not good. All right. This is what happens when you go out of town. Josh is here. Hello, Josh.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm a little stressed. I'm hoping you could answer my questions for me, if you
Yeah,
don't
go for
mind.
it. Yeah, for sure.
Sure. So me and my partner, we filed a green card application back in the on the 31st of December. Until now, we haven't heard anything. The money hasn't been cashed or anything. Is there any problem, do you think?
Oh, the 31st of December. I mean, that's the day it was delivered, or that's the day you sent it?
Oh no, it was signed and received on the 31st December.
Okay, well then that was last Tuesday, then or that was the Tuesday, then Wednesday was the first. Then they all probably just showed up. They all showed up doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, maybe, looked at some files. So no, this is just regular processing. I wouldn't be worried about it at all. Most people aren't getting their receipts for like 6 or 8 weeks.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, one last question. My most concern is we filed the old um 485 and then the 864. Do you think it's going to be a problem for them to reject it, or just they'll continue with the process? Because I know on their website it says they're still accepting the application until the 10th of Feb.
Yeah, no, you're worrying about something you don't need to worry about.
Oh, okay. Because I've been hearing people saying stuff like that on the social media, so it got me a little bit
Oh,
nervous. And
USCIS does dumb stuff all the time, and my friend who's an immigration lawyer down in Tennessee, he sent them an application, and it was the most recent form. They rejected it, saying it wasn't the most recent form, but it was. So they do that dumb stuff, but I don't think that's a big pattern or something you really have to worry about.
oh, okay, great. Thank you so much.
Good luck, Josh.
Thank you, Captain. Bye.
Bye, buddy. See ya.
Yeah.
All right. There goes Josh. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. Thank you all for being here. Let's go to All Right, All Right. No, All Right is out of here. Pretty Page, hello. Hello, Pretty Page. Are you there? You're on mute, Pretty Page.
Yes, I'm here, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
What's up?
Quick question. Thank you for all you do for us. Quick question. My son is 18. His father turned before he turned 18, his father turned citizen in about the last part of November to December. And he was in the hospital in and out. So my question is, if my son was 16 when he was 17 when his father turned citizen, and he turned 18 just a week ago, can his father still put in his citizenship papers? Because it was filed in one, but he didn't pay the money as yet for him to get his
Certificate of citizenship.
yes, certificate. Thank you.
That's okay. So let me. I'm just going to throw out some names. So Dad will call Donald, and son will call Sammy. Right.
Okay.
So does Sammy live with Donald?
He lives with his grandma, but he's under his care. He lives with Donald's mother.
Sammy doesn't live with Donald.
No, because Donald works in a different state, but he lives in the state where Sammy is.
And does Sammy have a green card?
Yes.
Sammy has a green card. Okay.
Yes.
How long has Sammy been in the United States?
About 5 years. He came the same time with Donald.
And did he come on an immigrant visa, or did he come on a visit visa and adjust?
No, he came on an immigrant visa. His grandmother filed for him and the father.
Got it. Okay. So if I were to ask, when did Donald become a citizen? What was it? The rough date.
roughly the ending of November, say about the 29th or somewhere there.
Of 24?
Yes, of 24.
Okay. Let's say from December of 22 to November of 24, how much time did Donald and Sammy sleep in the same house?
They spend time together. Yes, it's a good amount of time.
How much?
Probably about 5 months here or there.
5 months total?
Yeah.
So I think that maybe maybe he's a citizen, maybe he's not. The question is whether he's in the custody of his father, of the naturalizing parent.
Oh, yes, he is. Because he's go ahead.
Is dad's address that he naturalized the house that the son lives at?
Oh no, I don't think so. No. Then that's
Yeah.
gonna be a problem.
I think this might be a problem. I'm not saying for sure. I mean, it's a legal question as to whether or not dad has custody. It doesn't, if he's living with grandma, that doesn't sound like custody to me. So I think it might be a close call as to whether or not, like, and I think we have to ask, like, on the N400, did dad list the son and list them at the same address?
Oh, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, so I think that might be the end of that. So Sonny Boy, Sammy, I should say, might have to naturalize on his own. It's a close call.
Okay, so he has to do it on his own then.
I'm not saying he has to. I'm saying he might have to.
Okay. And if he starts the paperwork in, say, like, how long does it take from start to finish?
For an N600?
Yes.
Depends on the city. Where does he live?
Florida.
Yeah, I mean, they usually take about a year or a little bit longer.
Okay.
But the thing is, if Sammy is a U.S. citizen, Sammy is a U.S. citizen. He should do an N600, and it's expensive. It's like $1,100, but he should do it. But he's a citizen if he's a citizen, and if he's not a citizen, then he has to naturalize.
Okay. Is there a way to find out if he's a citizen, or I have to go through with his dad?
What do you mean?
How would I know if it worked out?
Well, I think that if it were me, I'd want to talk to the dad and figure out the exact details of everything and see what was on the N400 and what the living situations are. To me, my gut tells me he's not a citizen.
That's what my gut's telling me too.
Huh? Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. But like if Sammy got in trouble and was in deportation, then I'd research it really hard. But I don't think he's a citizen, and so the only way to really find it out, other than digging deep and trying to make a legal argument that he is, would be to file and see what happens.
Okay, so in normal circumstances, if he was living with the father and his father turned a citizen before he turned 18, he would automatically become a citizen.
If he had a green card and was in custody, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jim.
Bye, Paige.
All right, bye.
All right. All right. Are you there? I think they're back. Hello.
Hey, hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. What's up?
Well, thank you for having me on the show.
Sure.
Yeah, I've been watching you since I mean it would be like a month now, and I truly appreciate you.
Oh, good. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So, sorry, I'm a little bit stressed.
Take your time, little by little.
Yeah. So, the first time I got in the US was back in 2014, like December 2014, on an F1 visa, and
Okay.
I'm still on F1 visa. Now I'm Now I'm doing my STEM OPT, and I went back to my home country in December, and I renewed my visa in this. I think I renewed my visa on November 28th of last year, and then got back in the US on December 8th, and then I got married in December 22nd with my with my wife. So I'm
Hey,
like, well,
before we get into that, can I just ask you a question? Just because I'm interested. Did you arrange for your embassy interview for your DS-160 for your F1 renewal before you left the United States?
yes, it was before I left the United States.
How long did it take? I'm just trying to get. People call me and ask me about this, so I'm just wondering, like, how much time did it take between when you submitted the DS-160 and when you got your interview?
It was pretty quick. It was, I think, the same day or like 2 days after, something like that.
That's good. And then when you showed up, did they just give you the visa, or did they give you a hard time or anything?
No, that they didn't give me a hard time because that was not the first time that I go back because I travel every year.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it wasn't a problem at all. And I was there with my little brother who's coming tomorrow. Actually, he got the visa the same day with me. And there was actually, I mean, the officer was focusing, more on him than on me. So yeah, I mean, like when we entered, my visa was approved, and and then I started asking him questions.
And what embassy is this?
Oh, that's in Congo.
Congo.
DR
Okay.
Congo.
Okay, great. All right, I'm ready. So you enter and then you get married as fast as you can after entering on your
Yeah. So
your shiny
I've
visa.
I've been with that person like for a year and a half now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean I didn't know about the 90-day rule. I didn't know at all. If I knew, maybe I wouldn't travel. Maybe.
Yeah.
So the situation is now that I got married like 2 weeks, 2 weeks after I came back, and I'm also supposed to travel in March, because I need to meet like some investors in Greece, and then I will come back. So I was kind of wondering, when I leave, when I travel in March and come back, if I should wait like 90 days and go ahead and apply and try to prove that my first intent was not to immigrate. And also I want to mention this. My company wants to sponsor me for the H-1B.
All right, I'm just putting in the comments. You haven't watched the show all that long, but we call these law school exam questions because this is like when my wife taught immigration law at the law school, she would ask me to try to help write a fact pattern. So I would say, okay, all right, as a longtime F1 student, he's on the STEM OPT. I mean, because half the shit you throw into the exam question is to confuse the kids, right? The students. So all right has a STEM OPT. He just went back and got his F1 visa stamp, and shortly after arrival, he got married to his longtime girlfriend. Now, the question is, here's the $1 million question. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
Had any wedding plans been made before you left to go back to the Congo to get your F1 stamp?
Well, so we knew that we were going to get married, and we actually wanted to do it in November, but then we were like, well, let's not do it now. Let's wait. And then I traveled, and then when I came back, I mean, we changed our mind like pretty quickly. Like
So I guess what I'm saying is, to me, I'm really, really hoping for the first time ever in any case that this was a small kind of a wedding, maybe at the courthouse with a few friends, as opposed to, oh no, Jim, I got here and we landed and there were 300 people at our wedding.
No. It was like only like maybe 10 people, not a lot of people at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not knowing about the rule is one defense to the misrepresentation problem. Like you have to have the intent to mislead them, right? So that's one little defense you have going. Another defense you have going is, dude, I've been on an F1 for a really long time, right? And I've always gone and come back. I've gone and come back. I've followed all the rules. We didn't get married to get me a green card. We got married because we loved each other and we've been together for a while. And as evidence of that, I left again, and my company sponsored me for an H-1B. So I'm so kick ass that I had lots of options. I didn't need to engage in any kind of immigration fraud in order to get a green card. Now, I think this is going to be difficult, and I think you've got to be really careful. You might want to hire an attorney for this just to help with framing of things, right?
Okay. Okay.
Let's throw in the H-1B piece, and let's throw in the future trip. Did you say you wanted to go to Greece or something for work?
Correct. Because I have some plans, like some plans that I'm developing for my home country, and I'm kind of looking for investors, like people that can invest money to help me finance that project.
Okay. So here's the fun thing for me. All right. So when I talk to couples like you and your spouse now, and they're of that young marrying age, and it's about the time where they're starting their life together.
She's not young.
Huh?
She's not young.
What do you mean she's not young?
Oh well, so we have a 14 years gap.
Oh, well, don't say your wife is old. That's how you get kicked in.
Well, I know. I'm sorry. I'm 28 and she's 42.
Well, I say 42 is still young because I'm 54. All right. So in any event, the point I was trying to make is that I lost my train of thought. All right. So we were talking about I'll just talk about other things that I'm worried about. Okay. Number one. Oh, I know. I was going to tell you that people that are getting married and starting a new life together have to prioritize. And they have to say to themselves, what's most important? Is the most important thing that I get investors for my plans, for my home country stuff? Is my number one priority being in the United States? Is my number one priority making sure that I don't get stopped by CBP and not let back into the United States? Is my most important thing? So sometimes you have to figure out what's most important to you. And what I say to people is you can have this and that and but maybe not this. Like here's three things, you can have two of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what's the most important to you and your spouse?
That's actually the most important because to be honest with you, like I honestly don't want to live in the US forever. So I think that's like that project it will be like very beneficial. But at the same time, I want to be able to like live and come back in the US like whenever I want or stuff like that.
Here, I'll help you frame it even a little bit better. Let's just say that you went on this trip to Greece, okay? And you talk to these investors and they're like, yeah, dude, we totally want to invest in this. This is great. And then you come back through CBP and they say, hey, can we see your phone before we left the United States? And they look at your phone and they say, oh, who's this gorgeous 42-year-old? Oh, well, that's my wife. Oh, your wife. You're married to a U.S. citizen. But you're on an F1 visa and you've been on an F1 for a really long time. I think you have immigrant intent. I think you've been living in the United States for 10 years. I think you've got this U.S. citizen spouse, and I think you're going to apply for a green card. So I think that that's going to be a big problem for you if you get stuck outside the United States.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, if they revoked your F1 visa, what happens?
Yeah, then I'll be screwed.
and it might be a 1% chance of happening, but that's in immigration land. That's how we have to think of things. Small chance of a problem, huge consequence if it rolls the wrong way.
Yeah. And
you guys, I would say from an immigration standpoint, you made a little bit of an impulsive move by getting married right after coming. And now you are an F1 student, but you are also the spouse of a U.S. citizen. So everybody's going to look at things through that prism now, even if your life is different.
So like, do they see it automatically when I, when I'm, like at immigration, when I'm entering the US, like at CBP, do they see it directly or, like on their computer?
That you're married?
Yes.
No, most likely no.
They do not. Okay,
But
because they never asked me that question. I mean, they have never asked me that question before. So, and also, like, we wanted also to go to, to her home. I mean, she's a U.S. citizen now. I mean, it's been like, I think 20 years or whatever since she's a U.S. citizen. But she's from Trinidad, and we wanted actually to go visit her parents. And based on what you're telling me right now, it looks like that's a really bad idea. Because if we go together and then come back, they'll ask me questions, right? And then I will be able. I mean, I'll be forced to tell them that I was visiting my wife's family, and that will be a big problem.
and we can't forget. I mean, everything that we've talked about so far would be true if Kamala Harris was getting inaugurated next week. But I think that's right. I think that if I'm you now and I just got back with my shiny new visa stamp, I would not leave the United States until I have my green card in my hand.
Okay.
Or at least my advanced parole.
Okay. And so okay, that's kind of okay. And like, we live in Maryland, and based on USCIS website, looks like it takes 45 years for it. 45 months for it to get processed. The green card. And it takes only, I think, 8 or 9 months for advanced parole to be approved. Do you think that's accurate? I mean, I know you don't believe that, but
No, I
do
don't
you
believe
think,
that.
based on my case, it will take like more than a year? Because also, I forgot to mention that I'm actually waiting to apply so that I directly get the 10-year green card instead of getting the 2-year and then you're going through the process of removing the conditional.
Okay. Okay. So I hate that game. I think it's a stupid game. I don't play that game. You don't know what in the hell is going to happen. And
Okay.
so to think that you know enough to work the system so that you don't have to file a 751 is really a bad idea. And
Okay.
and remember what I just said. I just said that you should not leave the United States until you have a green card. So
Correct.
do you want to stay in the United States for 2 years until you're actually married and then apply for a green card? So you want to be here for the next 3 years?
No, I actually wanted to apply by December because I know like it won't take less than a year, definitely.
Oh yeah, I don't play those games. I just play it straight. I just get it going.
Okay.
I mean, the 751 is
So
not that 751 is not that big a deal.
Okay. So when do you think I should go ahead and apply?
Now.
Like now, even though it's been less than 90 days?
Well, it's 60. The rule is 60 days, and you already sort of broke the rule. So I would wait 60 days from entry, and maybe wait another month or so. But I mean, you can't unring the bell. You got married too soon. We're stuck with that.
Gotcha.
All right.
Gotcha.
Good
Well,
luck.
thank you very much, Jim. Thank you
Okay.
very much. Appreciate you.
Yep. See, he was a nice guy, wasn't he? Very nice guy, and smart about lots of things. He's got all this going on. He's going to get investors in Greece. But it's impossible to know everything about how the world works. So it's always a good idea to talk to an immigration lawyer before you make decisions like getting married or applying for a benefit. Hey, I want to say something in the comments, and then I'm going to go to Anoop. If Anoop turns off his camera. Oh, I just noticed something. I can change Anoop's name. I can take off people's last names. That's great. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Oh, wow. Okay, there's a game changer. Here's the question. Is TikTok going away? Is TikTok going away? What do you guys think? Do you think TikTok will disappear on Monday next week? Sort of funny that the TikTok ban goes into effect on the 19th, which is the last day of the Biden administration. Laura says, yes, it's going away. Anoop, hello.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Great.
I have a question. Like a long time ago, I got my asylum. So I want to apply for the permanent residency now. So what documents do I need for it?
When did you get asylum?
A long time ago, sir. It's been like 3 years now.
And did you get it from the judge or from the asylum office?
From the judge.
So what I would do if I were you, I mean, in answer to your question, these are the forms that you have to file, okay? You have to file a 480 I-485. It's if you want a work card, you might already have one through Asylum, but you can apply for another work card, an I-765. You
Okay,
need,
sir.
you can apply for advanced parole, but I probably wouldn't waste money on that.
Sir, I have a question. Like they have already granted me asylum. The case was over like a long time ago. So after that, can I go directly for the permanent residency card?
Yeah, you just have to wait 1 year from your asylum. You can apply for permanent residency.
Okay, sir.
So, and then make sure you have to do the medical. So that's the I-693. So you have to find a doctor, a USCIS civil surgeon where you live, and do the medical.
Okay, sir. So I have another question. If I apply like the documents with the if I apply for the green card, so the documents I have of the court documents, plus they give me a UCIS, they give me a card, that card, and nothing else I have.
One thing I was thinking, if you came to me, Anoop, and you said you wanted me to be your lawyer, the thing I would do probably is
Yes, sir. On that time, I didn't have the documents, so I was waiting for it. So I contacted 1 month ago. So I got all of my documents from there. So that's why.
okay. Yeah, I would get all my documents. I would, because I want to know what you said about asylum and all that stuff. So I would do all that. And you
Okay,
can,
sir.
yeah, you can send them to me if you want. Okay.
Okay, sir. I have another question. Like from the 20th, Trump is coming into the office. Does they change the green card? The people who already have asylum.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, sir. So I will go to your office tomorrow or today. So I'm from the St. Louis. I live here.
Oh, okay. That'd be great. I'll tell Patma that you're here. Okay, Noob?
I already talked to them.
Okay. All right, great. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bye, Noob. See ya. Hey, that reminds me. I've been wanting to say something. People have been saying that I've been saying that you have to file your applications before January 20th. And while I generally think that's helpful, if I said that, it was in response to questions from callers. And here's the way I'm going to think about it. Number one is Trump is going to sign a shitload of executive orders after he gets inaugurated. So typically what happens is the president goes to the new president goes to the inauguration, then they go back to the White House and they sign all these executive orders. You know, Trump loved those executive orders, especially when it came to the Muslim ban, the state, anything dealing with the State Department, anything that Trump can change on his own, which includes undoing executive orders, those kinds of things, or or like he might try to revoke some extensions of TPS. Those things will happen on January 20th or shortly thereafter, right? But as far as changing the regulations, changing the field adjudicators manual, changing the statutes, that all happens differently, right? So to change the law, Congress has to change the law. To change the regulations, the agencies have to go through what's called the notice and comment period. They have to tell the world that they're going to change the rules, and then they have to go ahead and change the rules. So do I think that you should apply as soon as possible? Yes. Do I think that immigration is going to get harder with each passing day of his administration? Yes. Will I keep you posted as to any major changes, like changes in executive orders, changes in regulations or changes in the law, yes, I will. Right. So no, things aren't going to get, some things will get harder overnight. Like I would imagine that Muslim ban 4.0 is going to be signed on January 20th. It might get held up in court. It might not. Who knows? I'm sure there's lawyers working on lawsuits to challenge some of these executive orders right away. Yeah, and Julian's right. I take it that many of them will be challenged under the Administrative Procedures Act. Again, Julian, it depends what he's doing. If he's trying to change regulations by executive order, that he can't do, most likely. But I'll say this, when it comes to the border and when it comes to immigration, the Supreme Court bends over backwards to let him do what he wants. And specifically, Raphael's asking about the public charge. So with the public charge, that's going to be tricky for him because the Biden team actually did something sort of smart. They went through notice and comment to formalize the public charge rules that are in effect right now, which means that in order to undo them, he'll have to do the same thing. So he can't just flip a switch and turn those back on. So, and yeah, Trump's going to try to change birthright citizenship with an executive order. I think that's going to fail. But, you know, all the stuff will be tied up in court. So unless you're paying attention to the day-to-day like we are, be careful of telling other people how badly things are going to be. And things are going to be bad. I'm not saying that. And things are going to get worse with each passing day. But other than whatever he signs with executive orders and whatever he does on January 20th, you know, getting those applications in sooner rather than later is always going to be a good idea, right? It's always a good idea, no matter who's the president. All right, Chris is here. Hello, Chris. Chris?
Hello?
Go ahead.
Hello?
Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yeah, I'll just use the Malik illustration.
What?
Yeah, so Malik came in the United States in 2017
Okay.
on an F1 visa to pursue a master's degree.
Okay.
Malik was in school for a bit, then he left.
Wait, what's a
4
bit?
years after,
What's
he
a
met
bit?
his then girlfriend. They dated about 8 months and later got married. Got married after 8 months.
Hey, Chris.
Hello?
Yeah, turn off your other audio. Just listen. Just talk to me. You're waiting to hear the feedback. Whatever you're
Hello.
listening to,
Hi.
turn it off.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, can you hear me? I can't deal with that. I just don't have time for that. Hey, P, if you turn off your camera, I'll pull you up. P in the house. Hello, P.
Hey Jim, how you doing today?
Great, buddy. How you doing?
Good. I've been a long time supporter, like way back. I'm saying from when you and Andrew still used to co-host the show together.
Daniel, me and Daniel.
Oh,
Yeah,
Daniel. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry. I meant to
that's
say
great.
Daniel.
Andrew's here too, but that was me and Daniel. Those were the good old. I miss Daniel. We got to get him back on today.
Yeah.
By the way, Daniel just celebrated his 5th year with the firm.
That's great. I remember you be putting him on there because you guys be getting more views. You know, you said the ladies were liking to come
Yeah,
on there
because
because of
yeah. Right. So what's up?
Um, I have a question. I kind of know what advice you would give me, but I'm just still gonna go ahead to hear your opinion. So I came in 2014 with a student visa,
Okay.
applied for asylum in 2016,
Okay.
got married in 2019,
Yep.
and then I got put in removal in 2021.
Off the asylum.
Then, no, well, I was getting ready to find my green card based off the marriage, and I thought it was a good idea to withdraw the asylum before putting in my green card application, and then that put me in removal. So I filed, my wife and I, we filed for the I-130 in September of 2021 online. And then the following week, we mailed out our 485, and that got administratively closed. Now, the removal proceedings got terminated in July of last year in Seattle. and I sent the form or the paperwork I got from court back to immigration requesting that they reopen my 485. And 2 months later, they reopened it and asked me for an RFE. They were asking for the medical records and proof of sponsorship from my wife, as well as my birth certificate. I sent that to them, and now it's been 100 and online. It says 103 days since they received my RFE, and there's been no movement. The I-130 hasn't been approved. It's about 4 years now, or getting to 4 years that it's been pending. So I was calling to see if there's anything we can do to kind of like shake USCIS before we threaten them with the mandamus lawsuit.
So the 485, you filed it with USCIS or with the immigration court?
With USCIS. They
And they,
actually sent me a work card back in August for the 485.
and they admin closed it because you were in removal.
Yes, back in 2021.
And the judge terminated proceedings. Was the I-130 approved?
Nope, it's been pending since 2021 as well.
But the judge terminated even with the I-130 pending.
He did. I just had like he and the what they call the immigration attorney, they just kind of asked me questions about the marriage and everything was fine with them, so they terminated the removal.
Okay. And was the were you still in valid F1 status when you applied for asylum?
Oh yeah. I applied for asylum in 2015. I didn't graduate till 2019.
Okay, so did a lawyer tell you to withdraw your asylum case, or you just did that on your own?
A lawyer did tell me to withdraw the asylum. So what happened was during my next hearing with the immigration judge, I explained everything to him because prior to that, they had postponed my hearing like 3 times. So I never like had the opportunity to talk to a judge.
Because of COVID and all that.
Well, not COVID. They told me I entered the country legally, so they were, you know, just going over folks who crossed and came in through the border as opposed to like hearing my case.
Yeah. So just to be clear, though, your lawyer was the one who told you it was a good idea to withdraw your asylum case.
No. At the time, I didn't have an attorney.
Okay, so you did that on your own.
Yes.
Okay, so just for everybody listening, have you heard of all the problems P has had with his situation? It's all because he withdrew his asylum case when he should have left it pending.
Mm-hmm.
So don't do that, people. All right. I only know one way to shake them to get things moving, and that's to sue them. I don't threaten to sue them. I don't call them and say that. The only thing I know, your case. So in your mind, you have a pretty ordinary traditional marriage case that's pretty straightforward. But in their mind, you're someone who applied for asylum and withdrew it. That's probably a fraud trigger. You were in and out of immigration court, which sometimes those systems just don't mesh. And even though the judge terminated proceedings, getting them to reassess you as a new person or as a whole person, I should say, is confusing. So I think the only thing to do is to sue them. I think your case will be on hold until you sue them.
Okay. Dang. And I know about you guys' charges, like it's about $5,000 for your office to take care of that.
It's $5,500 plus the $405 filing fee.
Dang. I have an interesting question. Are you ready for that?
Oh, I am indeed.
Do you guys have or do you guys offer broke people's discount for that mandamus lawsuit?
Did you say broke people's discount?
Yes.
No, we have payment plans and we have a finance company that we work with. I don't know if we have a broke people's discount, but email me, P. We can talk about it.
Okay, cool. Because I did talk to another lawyer and they were offering like their fees are less than you guys, but I just feel comfortable with like Hacking Law Firm is taking, is doing all of this just because I've been following you for like 3-4 years now.
And we've been doing them longer than anybody else.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I'll shoot you an email for that payment plan.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, P. See you, buddy.
Yep. Thank you.
The broke people's discount. I'd have to make. We might have to consider the broke people. No, I mean we do take pro bono cases sometimes, but not on mandamus. Although we're doing a mandamus lawsuit. The clinic asked me, if Jim gives everyone a discount, he'll be broke. We did do we're doing a pro bono for 2 minors who have long pending asylum cases at the Chicago Asylum office, and we did that one for free. So we do some for free, but we don't necessarily have a broke people discount. Hey, you guys gave me a good idea. I think we should have Daniel come back on the show in honor of his 5-year anniversary. Damn, he laughed. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Let's see what time tomorrow. 11:30 tomorrow, 11:30 Central Time. Is that right? Let me make sure. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Hina's got it. Thank you, Hina, for your help. Everybody, we're out of here now. We'll be back tomorrow for another exciting edition, episode 742 of the Immigration Answers Show. Everybody votes yes for Daniel. And today's January 13th, so tomorrow's the 14th. We'll be back at 11:30. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night, a good day, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.